was talking to me about the Hamlet product, and I was sipping tea like it was going out of style. In the kitchen area, there were these two giant coffee makers, an espresso machine that no one knew how to use, and these like chocolate-flavored coffee beans. Shakespeare.com was all about caffeine. Yet I was sipping decaf. You see, Shakespeare.com had started as this great idea. I mean, it was like Shakespeare for the masses. And it was going nowhere fast. Kind of like Shakespeare for idiots. I mean, we were talking to the For Idiots people for a crossover deal. I mean, I had 500,000 stock options, my car was an '83 Civic, my house in Bernal Heights had termites, we slept on a mattress on the floor, and we drank whatever beer was on sale. My husband, Leo, taught first grade. He called these days the Golden Age. He used to say to me, hey, you gotta enjoy the hell out of these days, because, you know, they're just not gonna last. See, I knew he was talking about the dinosaurs, his students' favorite subject. You see, the dinosaurs had never known what was about to hit them. My husband thought it was an asteroid. The locus of control is a psychological theory that explains the extent to which a person believes they can or cannot control circumstances surrounding their life. Yet unforeseen factors continuously keep life unpredictable. So those who have an internal locus truly believe they can still contain them. Which begs the question, how far are we willing to go to maintain whatever little control we may think we have? As the Yiddish proverb notes, man plans, God laughs. Shakespeare.com by Amanda Ward. We've been trying to get pregnant for some time, and after the first year or so of gleeful fucking had not resulted in a baby, we started to get serious. We went to the doctor, and we got poked and prodded, and nothing was wrong. I guess it was this sort of magic between us that just wasn't working. I mean, each month I got my period, and it was starting to make me a little teary. And then Linda the yoga queen decided to come up and recommend Dr. Zhang. He was an acupuncturist. And the story was, it worked. So I went to Dr. Zhang's office, and his office is all like feng shuied out, okay? There are trees in all of the corners. And this like giant aquarium by the door to invite the Manichi inside, or something. At reception, there's this woman with this unstable look in her eye, and she takes my name down and asks me to sit down on a red pillow. I'm still not sure whether or not she had pointed to the love corner or the success corner, but either way, right? You know, I'd always imagined a little boy. I mean, not that I would have minded a little girl, but I just kind of relished in the thought of a little boy who would go to the library with me. I mean, who wouldn't mind the stink of the sea lions on Pier 39, but if he did, that was okay. We could skip it. A little boy who would run up to me and hold me really tight and kiss me and whisper, Mama. And you know, I married the right man for it, and it took me forever to find him and to realize that it was kindness that mattered. I mean, this was the man who made papier-mâché Abraham Lincoln heads the day he taught his students about presidents. This was the man that my son was going to have for a father. While I considered all of that, the woman left. Dr. Zhang came in, and then all of a sudden he just started sticking me with needles in various parts of me. And then the woman came back inside with this like giant heat lamp, and she held it right in front of my belly button. And then both of them got these like giant rubber suction cups and started suctioning them on and off of me, and then all of a sudden, it was over. I took the pills and I drank the tea. The tea tasted like what would result if you boiled lemongrass and Windex. But you know, I drank that stuff. I told Leo about it over dinner. He laughed and then looked kind of miserable. He patted the spot next to him on the bed, and I went to lay down. He ran his fingers through my hair and just didn't say a word. I mean, there was nothing to be said. He wanted a little one just as much as I did. After the Monday editorial meeting, I went for a walk. At the corner of 2nd and Bryant, there's this like giant sign for Margarita the Psychic. Okay, maybe I've been walking toward her all along. So I walk in, and the front room is just filled with shitty furniture and like 1,000,000 cats. It smells like urine. Good God. And then with the flourish, this middle-aged woman comes busting through the door with a turban on her head. And she says, "Welcome, my dear, welcome. I am Margarita the Psychic. Come in." Upon closer inspection, I realized that her turban was actually fashioned out of a towel. It had San Francisco Giants insignias on it. And then she said, "I see a man for you. You and this tall, dark, handsome man, you will fall in love." And in spite of myself, I became intrigued. I mean, Leo was really tall after all. And then she said red. Red like the color of roses. Okay, listen, lady, if I pressed my eyelids together that shut, I would probably see red too. I pulled 2 5s out of my pocket and I gave them to her. And I left. On the way back to the office, I stopped at the Happy Mexican Gas Mart, and I perused the aisles for a pregnancy test. I mean, I thought of all of the different ways I could tell my husband the awesome news. I mean, I figured I could take him out to dinner and just toast to our baby. Or maybe I can hang like a banner by the door. Or buy him some cheesy Hallmark card. Or maybe I can buy him tiny shoes, like tiny little sneakers or tiny little moccasins. As I thought about all that, I grabbed a pregnancy test and a Snickers bar and I paid. On the walk back, I finally decided. I was going to tell Leo in bed. I would just throw the covers over our head, and I would come in real close, and I would just whisper the news, and I would just listen as his breath would become ragged. When an anorexic artist finally left the bathroom, I went inside. The directions seemed simple enough. Pee on the stick, and wait. So I unbuttoned my jeans and I closed my eyes. And for the first time in I don't know how long, I prayed. I mean, to what or to who? I don't know. But I prayed. I unwrapped the stick, and just before I could get started, I looked down and just as Margarita had foreseen, my underwear was as red as roses. You know, I think I might have cried out to somebody, but there just wasn't anybody there to listen. When I told Leo over dinner that I was only eating for one, he looked down quickly at the napkin on his lap, and his eyelashes were long and dark, and they just shielded his eyes from me. That night, my husband and I opened a bottle of wine, and we slipped under our cotton comforters, and we balanced bowls of pasta on our laps. There was a warm space for a baby between us. On the television, there was a man walking around a dim-lit room, packed with infants. From these giant slated cribs, he would pick each infant up and for the camera hold them aloft. Kind of to show people like me that they were perfect and unblemished. He would never stop for the larger children. See, he would walk by their crib and they would put their little hands up in the air and then wouldn't look at all surprised when they were just passed over. Those children looked into the camera with this dull hatred, almost as if they could see directly into my bedroom. I looked at my husband, and he was still staring at that video intently, just not moving a muscle. I couldn't help but think, if the dinosaurs had felt that asteroid coming, if by some miracle they knew what was about to hit them,